Joe made the mistake or fantastic decision to give me all the login information for the apps he uses for his 3D printer. Hi friends, welcome back. I'm MC, a knit and crochet designer and yarn dyer from Connecticut, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blame the Knots, on my website blametheknots.com, and of course right here on YouTube where you can get to know me a little bit better. Today we are here for episode 68 of the podcast, where we talk about knitting and crocheting and spinning and weaving and sewing and basically all of the things. And it is currently Tuesday, March 31st. Cannot believe that tomorrow is April. We have a lot to talk about today. So before we get into it, I want to say I am wearing my Netty vest. This I showed maybe last time, I think, on the podcast as a finished object. This is a modification of my Netty vest, which is one of my patterns. The Netty vest is a fingering weight pattern, but I modified it to be able to use this DK weight yarn that was a gift from my husband. So nothing about the pattern is changed. This is what the Netty vest looks like, but I just did some modification of numbers and things so that I could make it work with the DK weight yarn. So let's jump right in. We have a lot to talk about today, so into finished objects. Migo just came to visit us. So for finished objects, I have almost nothing in the knitting and crochet realm because I have basically spent the past 2 weeks trying to find myself. Pretty much. I mentioned in the last podcast that I recorded that I was feeling really slumpy, and honestly, that started before I filmed the last podcast and has continued until like yesterday, maybe. I'm not even positive I'm out of it yet. I can just I'm starting to a little bit feel like I'm coming in that direction. So it has been over 3 weeks that I have just not felt like knitting and crocheting. I have done some, and I have done some other crafty things, but I have had a hard time finding joy in what I'm making. So I have been kind of throwing myself into a bunch of different things and seeing what sticks and seeing if I can ignite my creativity in a different way. And it has been kind of working, but it's been very slowly working. So let's jump in with our finished objects. The first one I have to show you is the only thing that you have seen before, but only kind of, because this was on my loom last time, and this is a really fun scarf that I made, and I love it. So this is really cool. It's a little wrinkled from how I had it folded, sorry. I used Sorella yarn, Shop Around the Corner, fingering weight yarn, and I did nothing special, but just the way that I warped my loom, the tension that I used, the length of the yarn that I used, all of the things worked together to give me this kind of gingham almost look, which is really, really cool. Definitely something that I couldn't repeat if I tried. And then because I was just kind of using this as a project to remember how to use my loom, remember how to set it up, figure out all the things, just kind of get into the groove again, my tension was a mess. And so I ended up with a lot of warp yarn left before I was done. Or I ran out of weft before I ran out of warp by a lot. And this is too short for a scarf. So I grabbed some newly sharpened pencils, which is one of my colorways, and I threw it on there. I had a little bit left over from a previous project, and I just used it up. And then I tied off the ends to make some fringe, and yes, you can see a big line there. It doesn't look the best, but you know what? When I put it on and wear it like this and whatnot, I feel like it doesn't matter. Plus this was a test and I love it. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it the way that it is. And it's maybe not like the best fashion accessory ever, but I really like it. So this ended up using about 120 grams of yarn. And I don't have any. I did not use a pattern. I warped, I think I did 100 ends. I'm pretty positive I have it written down on my project page. I think I did 100 ends and about 90 inches of warp. This ended up being about 7¼ inches by about, I forget how long it was. 60 maybe inches, not including the fringe. I don't really remember. Like I said, it was just a trial. It was really just to like have fun and do things. And so I wasn't paying too much attention to all the ins and outs of it, but I really should start doing that if I want to get to know myself as a weaver and be able to plan projects in the future. Oh well. The next thing that I finished is something that I just posted a video about, but you have never seen it before in terms of the podcast. And I have to be a little bit careful because I have this project is a bit stabby and I haven't dealt with it yet. So this might be my favorite thing I've ever made in my life. Might be, let me get a little sunshine on it because that makes the colors a little bit more accurate. Might be my favorite thing I have ever made in my entire life. This is pretty much the wall art pattern by Connie Lee Lynch on Ravelry. I believe that's their name. Yes, I had to look it up. It is A New Twist on Tapestry wall art by Connie Lee Lynch. This was a pattern in a spin-off magazine, and so I don't have the pattern, but I was able to pretty much figure out what I wanted and needed to do based on it. And I want to put it behind me on above my couch on the wall back there, and I love it so much. It just has some nails sticking out of the back of it that I need to deal with that I haven't done yet, but I love this more than anything in the world. I put all of the details of what I did in my Ravelry project page so that I wouldn't forget if I ever wanted to recreate it. I know sometimes I'm bad about putting anything, like modifications and stuff on Ravelry, but this time I really wanted to record it. So I did a foundation single crochet of 125, and then I did 36 total rows of linen stitch, mounted it onto these boards. If you want any more details, go check out the vlog that I just posted. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun, and I definitely feel like this helped probably the most out of everything to rejuvenate me. Oh, and for that I used a skein of South Down hand spun, and I love it. I love it so much. It's perfect. Speaking of hand spun, the next thing that I did was I warped up my loom again. I had an idea of another type of wall hanging that I wanted to do, and I had some struggles with it, but it's okay. We're all done in the end. Now this has 8 million ends sticking off of it right now, and I have not clipped them. They're all woven in and everything is done. I just haven't cut the ends yet, and I'll tell you why in a second. But this is another weaving that I did. I did this on my rigid heddle loom. There's so much, there's like thread and everything all over it. I did this on my rigid heddle loom. This is also hand spun. This is Clun Forest hand spun. And what is that happening there? Oh, I forgot a couple of ends to weave in, and then one of them got pulled. So I will fix that later. But this is, I just did plain weave on my rigid heddle loom, and then I did a half Damascus edge and wove in all of the ends, which, let me tell you, was a task. But I have not clipped them yet because I just got a canvas it's still wrapped in plastic and has a label on it and stuff, so it's not going to be perfect. But based on the measurements of this, I was able to get a canvas. It's about 10 by 20, what is it? Yeah, 10 by 22 is what it ended up being finished, and I was able to get a 12 by 24 canvas, so that will allow me an inch on all ends. I still don't know if I want it to be horizontal or vertical, but I wanted to get your opinion. If I mount this on the canvas, do I want it to be on a white canvas, or do I want to paint the canvas? I have a ton of paint I can use. So I could do like kind of like a lighter wash. I could do like a really solid color. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this. This was really fun. I'm glad I got to use this. I loved this skein of handspun, but I was kind of afraid to use it because I didn't have very much. I only had just over 100 yards, and I wasn't sure if it would be scratchy or not. And now that I've woven it, I'm really glad I didn't use it for anything on my body because it is pretty scratchy. So I ended up with some warp left over on my loom. I keep trying to point at it. It's directly behind me, but I have that warped up and ready to go for basically another thing that's just like this with some other handspun. So let me know your thoughts on if I should paint the canvas or if we want me to just mount it on the canvas as a white unfinished canvas. I don't know if it's going to go in this room or other places in my house. We'll see. We will see what we decide. And then next, can we tell I was really not feeling knitting and crocheting because I continued weaving and I just realized I forgot something. Joe made the mistake or fantastic decision to give me all the login information for the apps he uses for his 3D printer, and I printed out a, wow, I didn't realize how badly that was going to show up on camera. This is a, let me hide my eyeballs, loom. It is about, I think it ends up giving you like a 5x9 weaving area. This is a free model that you can literally just send to your 3D printer and print it out. And it comes with a comb, it comes with a shuttle, and it comes with a heddle bar as well. This is a fantastic product. This is amazing. It's sturdy, it's beautiful, it's fantastic. I don't remember who the designer was. I'm pretty sure they are German. There were a lot of German words in there. But I will link it below because this is amazing. Amazing if you want to print a loom for yourself. If you want to try some weaving and you have a 3D printer or you know someone with a 3D printer and it ends up being like a couple of dollars worth of filament to print it out. Amazing. Anyway, the point is I decided to set that up and pull out a bunch of tiny little handspun scraps that I had left, and I made a little tapestry. Oh, it doesn't look that great on the camera. Can we try? There we go. Super cute. I love it. I had this purple, and I thought, you know, that would look kind of, it has like little flecks of green in it. I was like, that would look like a little field of lavender if I wove with it. And then I just pulled out some green and some brown and some blue silk. This is all hand spun except for the fringe. The fringe is a mystery worsted weight yarn that I know it's a superwash merino nylon, but I don't know the, like, where, it's just an undyed mystery. And I have put this on a piece of PVC pipe for right now because I don't have a dowel or anything to put it on, and I will figure that out soon. But this was really fun and I really enjoyed it. After the fact, I was reading some more about tapestry weaving and doing some research, and I realized I did like basically everything against the rules and like totally wrong, but I don't really care and I like it and it's super cute. Super duper cute. It's like not the most secure because, my first one. So I will continue learning and probably do better in the future, but I love this. I love it so much. I love it. It brought me a lot of joy. And the last thing that I have to talk about for finished objects is something that I cannot show you because it has already been gifted, but now that it has been gifted, I can show you what I have been working on, and that is a baby quilt. I will pop a picture in. I have a friend who is pregnant and will be having a baby pretty soon, and I pulled together some fabric and made a little quilt. This is I wouldn't say pattern, it's kind of like a tutorial slash idea from Riley Blake Designs. It's on the blog. It basically gives you the measurements to cut fat quarters into, and then like nothing else. So you need to know how to assemble and finish a quilt, or have the ability to look that up, because the tutorial doesn't really give you that information, but it is a really cute idea and I loved it so much. This quilt was a little bit of a comedy of errors. Like, it was basically anything that could go wrong will go wrong, from like the fabric that I wanted. I was initially going to get a charm pack, but then that was sold out, so then I got fat quarters, but then those took like weeks to get here, and then I realized that the fabric I got for the backing wasn't printed in the way that I thought it was, and it had like a directional pattern, so I had to do some pattern matching and piece the back, and then I cut the binding wrong, and so I had to do that, and then my machine, the bobbin, had a little tantrum, but I didn't realize it until I had already sewn several rows of the quilting, so then I had to redo that, and then but despite all of those things, I really, really, really loved making this quilt. It's such a simple idea, and I will 100% be doing it again. I kind of want to make one for myself, get some like really fun fat quarters. The original pattern sample uses like basically solids, and it looks so good. So I will definitely be doing this again. Loved the pattern. Any frustrations were literally just like the universe was throwing a little bit of a tantrum with me making this quilt. But the quilt itself was so much fun. I loved it, and I was super happy to be able to give that to my friends this past weekend. And I hope they love it a lot, because I loved it and I love them. All right, friends, works in progress this week is kind of pretty boring. I failed at something that I was trying to do because I've been so slumpy. I have not, there's nothing that has made me want, okay, it's very hard to explain because I want to knit. I want to be doing the knitting, the action, but nothing that I pick up makes me happy. So if I pick up something, it's not like just doing the action isn't going to satisfy me. I want to be creating something that inspires me. And so I've made myself work on some things, but like it just isn't fun. And so then I end up avoiding them. Point is, I still have not finished my pair of socks. So I managed to keep up with the stripes for these socks. I do have one done. This is a Kirby Werby Friends Advent from 2023. And I managed to keep up with the stripes. So I was trying to do 2 stripes a day, and I did that. Then we were away this weekend, and so I did not bring these along to work on the toe. That was like when I finished the stripes, and then the next day when we were gone, I was supposed to be doing the toe, and I didn't bring it with me. And then I kind of forgot about it, whatever. Anyway, point is, I'm only halfway through the toe, and I feel like I could just finish the toe in like 10 minutes, but here we are. Still have not finished the toe. I probably will today, later. And then I have to do the heels. I'm going to cut in for afterthought heels on both socks, but I also just don't feel like doing that right now. So there's that. I also have a ton of yarn left over, but I don't think I would have been able to do a second full repeat on each sock, and I kind of didn't want to, so I don't know what's gonna happen with this, but yeah, that's that. I don't know if I'm even gonna bother showing those next time because they need half a toe and 2 heels. I mean, maybe I can show them quickly, but I just don't feel like working on them anymore. I feel like I succeeded in my goal of 2 stripes a day, and then now I'm like, whatever. I'll get to them when I get to them. I hope. Next up, I have continued to work on my Harlequin. This has definitely been my go-to of like, when I don't know what to work on, I'm like making myself work on this, and that's fine. It hasn't been that bad. The socks feel more torturous to force myself to work on than the Harlequin. So that's good. We're getting there. I don't remember where I was last time that I showed this to you. But we've added in yellow. I finished a second purple diamond. I'm just barely started another of my neutral diamonds, and then we're gonna add a green one on there, and we're just gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep on going. This is using my entire It's Electric neon collection. So we will add on a pink and an orange diamonds, and then the neutral color is Heads Up. This is a DK weight version of my Harlequin. You can get the fingering weight pattern now for only $2, but a DK fully modular update is coming soon. I mean, honestly, I could release it at any time. It's all written, but you know, I want to finish the sample first. So we're going to keep on chugging along through that. I do want to try to kind of set myself a little bit of a goal with that, like either 1 diamond a day or 1 hour of working on it a day, or even 30 minutes a day, something, so that I get myself going on that. I have been bringing it every week for the past couple weeks to my knit night because I haven't wanted to work on anything else. So we're chugging along. We're getting there. We'll see what happens. And then the only other thing that I have to show you today is a new design. And this is why I think we are getting our mojo back a little bit. We have a taste of it because I picked up some yarn for a new design. Oh my goodness, I am so tangled. I finished my back panel. It does not look like much. This is Working for a Living. It's not doing great on the camera, but that's okay. It's kind of hard to see, and I'm backlit a little bit. But this is Working for a Living on my For Sure fingering. I have finished my back panel, and I just started to do some neckline on one side. So we're not very far. It's going to be a dress. Did I say that? It's going to be a dress. It doesn't have a name yet. I don't have much to tell you. That feels dangerous, that my needle's right there. But I've done some math. I've done some knitting. Are we finding ourselves? I hope so. I really hope so. We only have one big thing happening shop-wise this week, and that is that today, the day you are watching this video, the Stadium Crew is going live. The pattern is now available. I'm so excited. I have had so many people excited about this sweater. It is supposed to be based on your favorite cozy sweatshirt that you just like never want to take off, and I love this design. It might be one of my favorites that I've ever designed. The details are just impeccable. It is so good. It is so comfy. It is just amazing. It looks great and tailored and put together, but it feels like you're wearing a sweatshirt. I love it. So that pattern is available on Ravelry now, and you can go grab it. It is a fingering weight pattern. and I have had requests for a DK weight version, so I will be getting to work on that as well. I don't have much to say about life other than we went to a baby shower this past weekend for our friends. But other than that, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I have just been mopey. I've been mopey. I've been trying to figure out what I want to do all of the time. I just have not been able to find the joy that I want to feel in my making. But like I said, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're pulling ourselves out of it. We are making some progress. So the past couple weeks have just been like mopey. I've just been kind of daydreaming about things. I've tried to look through various things on the internet, on like Pinterest. I've gotten like magazines from my library. I've been trying to watch different YouTube videos, just trying to find different people doing different things to maybe give me a little spark. And so, yeah, I've been doing that. And I have not been making that much, even though I know it seems like I have. You're probably like, MC, you just showed us a million things. I know. Yes, I have been making. So it's not true for me to say I haven't been making very much, but it's the feeling, guys, okay? It's the feeling, and I don't know how to describe it, but thank you for coming along on this ride with me. This has basically been a podcast / therapy session with you guys. Anyway, I am really hoping that the next time I talk to you, I am amped up and I have so much stuff that I'm excited to talk about and new things to show you. I am feeling rumblings of excitement about this new dress. I really have a couple of ideas for weavings that I want to work on. So we're getting there. And I hope that next time I can show you a whole bunch of new things and maybe some finished socks. Anyway, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and maybe, you know, subscribe so that you can see if I finally get out of this slump or not. And until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Bye.